Hello Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Rising. These are your messages for December, and a very happy birthday to those of you that are celebrating your solar returns at the end of this month. But let's have a look at what we have coming up for you. So the very first card that we have as your underlying energy is the Eight of Wands. Okay, so a few things about the Eight of Wands. So first of all, yes, this card can talk about messages. It can talk about social media, messaging back and forth. Now, the thing to remember, and as soon as I saw this, it kind of reminded me, is that Mercury is going to be retrograde for much of December. Now, that means that if you are messaging with someone, there may be delays in those messages. There may be misunderstandings in those messages. The Eight of Wands, it does also speak, at its core, right? When the card was created, there wasn't social media, there wasn't messaging back then. So at its core, it speaks about the energies picking up, things speeding up. There's momentum now to move forward. The thing is, in your spread, even though I don't read in reversals, it almost feels as if this Eight of Wands should have come up reversed. That's how it kind of feels, just looking at the rest of the cards. So it may be that you're waiting for a message to come through, or, there's some kind of interaction, or, you're even trying to push forward with a relationship, a situation, work project, something like that. But there may be delays at this time. Now, I'm not just saying that because of Mercury retrograde. I am actually saying that because of the reading. Because at the heart of your reading, you have the Hanged Man. So, let's have a look at these two together. These two are opposing energies. The Eight of Wands speaks about speeding up, right? Energy speeding up, messages going back and forth, things happening. It's wands, so that's all about the energy that we put out into the world. But the Hanged Man is the opposite energy. Nothing happens when the Hanged Man comes up. If we look at this guy, there's not much movement here, right? He's hanging from a tree, and not just hanging from a tree, he's hanging upside down from a tree. Now, it always feels like he's put himself there because, it's a very deliberate pose. And even if he wasn't put there, he is kind of resigned to being there. The point of this card is it talks about a change of perspective. He's upside down, so he sees the world from a different perspective. It also talks about surrender. Whether he's put himself there, whether someone else has put him there, he has surrendered to the situation, to whatever is going on. So it does say that, things will get moving again very quickly, but it's time to contemplate and to have a change of perspective. The thing with him also, this come up at the heart of your reading, so everything seems to revolve around this. Now, it's interesting because this is the only card that speaks about this. It kind of speaks of surrender. None of your other cards speak of this. This is the only one, but it's at the heart, so it cannot be ignored. It's like what everything else kind of revolves around. So what I will say is that it kind of feels like some of you may be waiting for news or information to come in, or, you may have even sent out some messages or sent out some news. And it may feel at this time like there's a delay. Also be careful that there's not misunderstandings. So maybe that's why the Hanged Man is there. It's asking you to kind of contemplate this and to think about, what's truly being said to you. Because what we have coming up as a past energy, and this is kind of interesting, we have the Sun. Now, the Sun, it's one of the best cards in the tarot in that it speaks of the potential for great happiness. And it's always very kind of innocent, very childlike happiness. If you see this, we see this little boy, I think it is, but a child anyway, on this horse, kind of riding free. And this coming up at the foundation as your past energy, it kind of says to me that a lot of you kind of understood now what it is that makes you happy. Where you kind of see where that potential is, that even if you haven't gained what's going to make you happy, it's that course, it's that job, it's that person, it's that situation, there's something that you've understood, because the Sun also talks about illumination. So there is illumination here. And what I always say about the Sun card is that the kind of illumination that it speaks about is when it's kind of noon and you go out into your garden or your backyard and the sun's high in the sky, you can see every blade of grass. Like, it takes no effort, requires no effort to be able to see what's before you. You can see every part of your garden that's, revealed to you. And that's the same way when the sun shows up in a spread in our lives. everything becomes clear to us. We become illuminated. So even if you haven't achieved that happiness yet, and some of you might have, some of you may have, but you know, I think for the majority of you, it's going to be that you've understood what it is, where the happiness lies, which direction to go in. But then why is it that you have the Eight of Wands there? So it's almost as if that, you know, you want to move forward. You would like to move forward towards your happiness, to move ahead with this. But it kind of feels like you're not able to at this time. Not with that Hanged Man sat right in the middle of your reading. But you have some great cards. You have actually 4 major arcana cards in a 6-card spread. And that's major arcana energy. It's major life changes. It's energy that comes in very quickly, very powerful energy. So, you know, this December seems quite profound. Well, it would do, right? Saturn's coming home to Capricorn, so that's going to have an effect too. But we have the Magician coming up in the present. Now, the Magician card, yes, it's a card of manifestation. So I always see this as the first card of the tarot, the true beginning of the major arcana. I know we always say it's the Fool, but the Fool's numbered 0. So that's like not the beginning, not the end. It's that intermediate period, you know, where we're deciding to go again, where we're looking at what we're going to do, the journey ahead. This is when the journey begins. And we call the Magician a manifester because he has all that he needs to get what he wants. So whenever Mercury goes retrograde, and I have to kind of say that with the Eight of Wands and the Hanged Man coming up in your spread, you know, as the first 2 cards, I kind of feel like this is what you're feeling, this Mercury retrograde energy. And I know Mercury retrograde has a really bad reputation and everyone thinks it's there to, you know, it destroys everything or it makes things bad, but it doesn't. Any planet going retrograde, especially like Mercury retrograde, Mercury is about information. It's about, you know, what information we have. That's our thought processes. That's Mercury. So when Mercury goes retrograde, it's asking us to reevaluate, kind of relook at something. And this, I think, during this period, you're going to realize that you have everything that you need. That, you know, to get what you want, that you can get this sun energy that's in the past, that this might just be the potential, that, you know, you have the potential here to get what you want. But with the Magician in the present, this is about knowing that you'll figure out, like, you know, something from your toolkit, like, you know, that's what he has. That's his little toolkit. I always see this as looking in our toolkit and understanding, well, you know, I have what it takes to get what I want. Now, this card to me is also a card of communication. Why do I say that? Well, not in this card specifically because he doesn't have his hand, but in the traditional Rider-Waite and in other tarot decks, the Magician has one hand raised up and one hand facing down. And this, well, he has kind of that hand there, but it's almost as if, you know, he can channel energy. And that's like knowing the energy that's coming in. So with the Eight of Wands sat above this, it's almost as if you've received a message, if you want to send a message, if there's, you know, a direction that you would like to move in, or, you know, you have that energy coming in, you know what to do with it. You know where to channel that. You know what to say in a message. You know how to respond to a message. It's that kind of energy. That's what I'm getting from this combination here. And it kind of feels like it is about information, very much so in your reading. And the reason I say that is we have the Ace of Swords coming up as a future energy. Now, the thing is, I think you guys have been getting this. I think you got it last time as well. It's been a month since I did that. But it kind of feels like you have been getting this. And it's about the truth. It feels like, Capricorn, that either you've wanted to reveal a truth or you've wanted to hear a truth. There's something that you have been waiting for. And it kind of feels like it's, even if it's been shown to you before, this is where you truly understand. So if it's some truth that you're waiting for, with that kind of Mercury retrograde energy that's coming up very strongly in your reading, it could be that you're kind of reevaluating, going back over it, and you fully understand what the truth is in this situation. So if you've received a message, or, you know, there's something that's been revealed to you, some information that you've received, it doesn't have to be about a relationship. It could be, this could be when, you know, someone sent you a message, someone that you may be interested in. Maybe I'm not really getting someone from the past before everyone starts freaking out that their exes are coming back. Could be for some of you. It's not saying one way or another in this spread. It's more about what you do. It's more about how you react to this and what you plan to do. So with the Ace of Swords, aces are always the potential for new beginnings. Swords are our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideas, and how we communicate them. So for me, this is a new way of thinking, some kind of new truth, a new way of communicating, even with that Eight of Wands there at the beginning. But it seems to come about, we have this sat above it, right? It's like it's coming about after a period of contemplation. Now, you may have already gone through this. And now maybe the Eight of Wands coming up as an underlying energy. That's why it's there, because you want to go ahead. Like, you've had this period of contemplation. But the Hangman, like I said, not a lot changes. It's limbo. It says things will get moving again. But, you know, it's a period of having that change of perspective. And this is, what else would be a change of perspective than the Ace of Swords, which is so much about our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideas. Now, this is said to be one of the victory cards. But it's victory through clarity and the truth. So if you've been trying to get your side of the story across or get your truth out, it feels like this is a good time to do it. And there is victory for it. And even if you've been trying to say something for a while and no one seems to have been listening, what's been misinterpreted as something, this is where clarity comes in with the Ace of Swords. And same with if you've been waiting for some kind of truth or some information. Now, I did say that this was about surrender, right? So you're surrendering to the situation. You're surrendering to whatever this information is, surrendering to, you know, the reevaluation of your truth, of what the truth is within the situation. And the magician, of course, is about, you know, you have everything that you need to get what you want. You can move ahead, you can move forward. But then it actually leaves you in a really stable, very strong position, because as your advice card, as your crowning energy, we have the Emperor. The Emperor is very much in control. In the tarot, in the major arcana, he's the father figure, the boss, the authority figure, right? It's always his way or the highway. He's very good at running his empire. He knows what to do. Now, the thing with the Emperor, though, is he can be kind of stubborn. That's the thing with him. It's like, you know, very much my way or the highway. He only does things his own way, and that's the only way he knows. So the thing with his stubbornness is that sometimes he won't compromise or look at other ways of doing things. Like, that can be good, that can be bad. Like, you know, obviously for some people that might sabotage your situation. For others, it's going to put you in a stronger position. If this is not you, then this could be someone that you're dealing with. It feels like for some of you, this could be a boss, this could be a father, like an older person. I usually do see this as a very masculine energy, but, you know, we all have the divine masculine and feminine energies within us. The other thing with him, though, coming up as a crowning, it feels like if this is your energy and it's asking you, like, you know, if you very resolutely, because this is the advice, it's telling you to take control, you know, hold tight, go your way, trust in what you want to do, and the truth will come out. And the reason I'm reading the Emperor in quite a positive way is because the sun is sat above this, is because the sun is sat here. But I mean, if it is someone else, maybe they are the ones that come in and now take control. If you've been waiting on some truth from someone, maybe now they'll be ready to do it. They're ready to kind of step up almost.